So are you sorry? Should you be? I did some pretty surprising things apparently over the last month or so. I apologize to people where I work. I apologize once to a more junior person and once to a peer. And I gotta tell you, the responses were pretty surprising. So when I apologized to the more junior person, they just sort of looked frozen, like they weren't sure what to do, or like maybe they thought I was kidding. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. And when I apologized to a peer of mine, she was really quick to try to explain to me that I didn't need to apologize. And one of her expressions was, "This isn't a hit on you." I just found that really interesting. I think that we ought to get better at apologizing, and I think everyone should do it more. And I'm going to explain to you why I think that and what I think the qualities of a good apology are, and I hope it helps. So here's the thing. So a good apology is like accountability. It really has three parts. So the first part is it has to have a judgment that you make on your behavior compared to an objective standard, like where you judge your behavior. And if you judge your behavior as not meeting an objective standard, you should apologize for it. And I can't believe I have to say this, but an apology involves saying the words, "I'm sorry," right? And so that's the first part. The second part is you have to make an expression that you understand the effect your activities, actions, or behaviors have had. That's the second part. And the third is you have to make some sort of commitment about what you're going to do in the future, or what you're going to do to make sure that that behavior doesn't repeat if you judge that behavior to be incorrect, right? So I'll give you an example. So I went to this junior person and I'd taken a negative action against them. I'd written them up for something, and I'd subsequently found out that I wrote them up for a bad reason. So I was wrong. So I went in and I said, "Hey, look, I want to talk to you for a few minutes." And he's like, "Sure." Now, the last time I talked to him, I'd been issuing him the write-up. So of course he wasn't all that happy to see me, right? And so I give it to him, and I came in and I say, "Look, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry about that write-up." And he just sort of looked at me like I had three heads, right? And I said, I issued it to you on what I thought was the correct information, but I found out my information was wrong. So I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been more careful in evaluating whether that was appropriate or not. See, I'm making a judgment about my behavior. And then I said, "I can imagine it must have been really upsetting for you to get that, and really confusing for you to get written up based on something that you knew in your heart you didn't do." And that's the second part. I'm acknowledging the effect it had on him. And then I'm saying, "Look, in the future, I'm going to be much more careful with how I approach this and make sure that my data is correct before I write people up." Right? And that's the third part of that apology. And then I committed to not doing it again, and we ended it from there. And I don't think he was really sure what to think, but that's what an apology is. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. I think apologies should be much more common, and they're really helpful to smooth over times when we haven't been our best selves, and all of us are like that, including me. So the next time that you've said or done something that you know wasn't right, apologize for it, and remember those three parts. I hope that helps.